There is here's at least I saved it here, but not on the actual sculpting software. I saved it here in the rendering software. I did this kind of messy poly painting now that I look at it again, but it was just to see what he could look like with some shading, some a bit of a shadow in some of the corners, and some highlights and some blush in the cheeks and the nose and the lips being a bit more red, as opposed to a very flat skin that's like just a flat flesh tone all over. I made some progress since the first stream. I improved a little bit the placement of the hat, and I made it less flat. It's not really a hat, it's more sort of part of his head. I also discovered that if I make like a neutral color shading, I can always give him the actual skin color here on Keyshot if I wanted to make him bluish or something, and he still retains kind of rosy cheeks and pinkish lips. Because I don't know what I'm going to do really with him in terms of skin color. I don't know if I'm going to make him flesh colored. I certainly don't want to make him green or anything, but I thought I could make him kind of ashy, grayish, bluish, or maybe a little bit yellowish. But I wanted to avoid actual flesh color. Something like this, maybe less blue, maybe could work. Wow, it's capturing so differently on the stream. It's not that blue, and it's not that dark in my end. But this is maybe a skin color that I might end up using, or closer to what I might end up using. I already did my little emote just with yesterday's test, but I wanted to. It's a better TTB emote, so. I don't know what I pressed. It's a little. It's a better TTB emote, so it can be used in chat as well. I should save some renders with this shade, because it's really closer to what I want. I'm going to give the pupils a proper texture. These are a bit of a placeholder because I want him to have some eyes instead of a blank eyeballs that I gave him before. Yesterday I did the teeth also, and a tongue that's not really visible most of the time, but he's gonna need it. I also brought forward the brows a little bit. They were sunken in, and the face was sort of not aligned well. The eyes are still kind of big, but I am sort of going for a slightly cartoony, fairy tale-ish look. I don't know if I'm going to add anything else. Well, probably I'll refine some details, but I don't know if I'm going to. I'd like to do something better with the eyebrows. Right now they look like leeches sitting in there. For a while I thought I could make. I don't want to give him hair, like actual fiber-based hair, but I thought I could perhaps give him like either leaves or vines or something. But especially because I don't like this whole area that looks weirdly bald. Yeah, this is the protagonist of the thing. He is going to be in the story. He's going to be collecting the final sort of ingredients for a spell. He's teaming up with this fairy sort of character. She's not originally he was going to be a troll, and she was going to be or more like he was going to be a goblin, and she was going to be a fairy, and they were going to team up to make this spell together. Now I've changed the sort of origin story, and I've given them a different lore, and he's no longer exactly a goblin. He's more like the creation of a wizard. And the fairy character that I called Astrid for now is the daughter of a witch. What is the word? A female wizard. I don't want to say witch. He basically he wakes up in the morning and just leaves for the forest to collect the last few ingredients. The kind of stuff that he couldn't prepare in advance, the kind of stuff that needs to be collected fresh. Also, a lot of magical... Yeah, I don't know what a female wizard is. This witch sounds like another thing entirely. A sorceress? A sorceress. Let's say a sorceress. The other sort of magical beings of the forest are going to donate, quote unquote, some of their magic. It's magic that they don't really lose anything. It's going to regenerate in time, but they have been wearing some sort of amulet that have taken a little percentage of their magic, and they're going to... ERGOL is going to be collecting those as well. That all of that is going to be used in this sort of magic spell that they're going to be doing. And I don't know, it's a kind of story that I feel like sounds well on paper, and I don't know if it's gonna make a lot of sense on the screen, because if it's almost a lot of exposition and it's a bit repetitive, and it's meeting another character and another character, and ideally it's going to make sense. I have never written anything quite like this. I took 2.5 years of screenwriting in film school, but I don't know how it's going to work. I've given it a lot of lore and a lot of backstory that a lot of people are going to say, why am I not telling that story instead of this? But this is what I wanted to tell. This is a sort of small story in a bigger world. Anyway, I'm glad that I didn't lose this part, because I can keep experimenting with it a little bit. Maybe I can, if I absolutely don't want him to be green, but if I want it to be green, it kind of works. It kind of looks decent-ish. I don't know. I don't hate it, oddly enough, but I don't want him to look like... Already with that nose and the cheeks and the thing, looks kind of like... I was going to say Shrek, but it almost looked like Fiona with that... with the cheeks and the nose. Originally it was going to have a pointy nose, but I tried it and I didn't really like it, and I thought of inflating it, and it made a lot more sense. But yeah, I absolutely want to avoid the green color, especially because of the... To make it simpler for me to animate, I thought of giving him like some kind of undershirt with a vest on top, and that's going to be very Shrekky. I already don't know how to make it not look like Shrek. But maybe he's certainly going to have some sort of a satchel, because if he's going to be collecting all of these sort of ingredients and the amulets that all of the magical creatures of the forest and the other sorcerers will give him. So there's a difference in that, and the big red mushroom cap is hopefully distinctive enough, but I don't want him to look like Shrek or like an ogre in general, or a troll, or a... Now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't look terrible. It looks a little bit too dark in how it's capturing for the stream, but on my screen it looks softer. It kind of makes sense. God, I don't want to make him green. I don't know if yellowish. The problem is that there's a thin line here. It doesn't look... Oh, there we are. I don't know if very yellow would work. I don't hate it. Maybe that's a bit too saturated and a bit too close to green. Maybe there. I don't hate it. But again, I feel like it could... it would work better. A really muted sort of grayish, maybe with a little tint of blue or something, to sort of match the stem of the mushroom, because I want the other sort of the sorceress and the sorceress daughter and all of those to be human, but I want ERGOL to be different. So he already is different, but the flesh color, I feel like, humanizes him. Wow, that looks really saturated on screen, on the stream. I don't know if it's my screen or the capture that's really different. Anyway, I'm going to save a little capture of this because I like it as a test. How about more orange? That's too dark. How do I make it sort of, and that's too saturated. That's too close to fleshier tone anyway. But something maybe like this that still so he still can preserve a bit of a pinkier pink lips and cheeks and the tip of a nose, but I don't know. Anyway, we should go back to sculpting. I don't know if I'm going to make maybe I can. I added this sort of dummy template that I have that I don't really want to use any pre-made templates. I want to make everything on my own, but for this I wanted to at least use this template to play with the proportions already and see what kind of body I should give him, because again, originally he was going to be more of a goblin, so he was going to be more sort of short and chubby, but now he doesn't necessarily need to be like that. He could be taller and sort of skinny. So that's kind of what I want to play with today. If you remove the face, I spent some time yesterday making the teeth and the tongue, and they're not really visible for most of the time. That's really creepy. That looks like a glitched out video game. Yeah. But so far I'm kind of happy with him. I feel like I've somehow made him sort of my style, and I didn't have any reference. I didn't even try to draw him. I really came here to sort of find him while I sculpted him. Again, this guy's kind of buff, but I don't feel great about this completely human proportions. But he probably needs big feet. I like kind of the torso like this, and kind of the forearms maybe, but the legs should be shorter, or maybe the posture also should be different a little bit, not that straight. Can I rotate this? Again, this is just a bit of a placeholder for the body, but I really need to explore what he should look like. Maybe I can just inflate him. I might not use any of these shapes for anything else than reference and this neck. Oh. Did I inflate the arms too much? Again, I don't know what kind of gear I'm going to give him. I keep thinking, and I keep sort of envisioning some kind of straps or something. Oh, this neck part I can remove. I want him to look sort of friendly and harmless, and he's really sort of an innocent guy. He's looking very flat right now. Why is he... I don't want to give him like a big stomach, but it could make sort of sense. I don't know. That is a possibility to make him kind of does he look pregnant? That was so not the idea. But yeah, probably he should have a little bit of a stomach here. Not completely out of shape, or this is weird. It's a weird balance to try to find, but again, I don't know if that's the kind of feature that would go well with him looking more like a little goblin, or like a little dwarf, or a little gnome. I don't know if it's something that would make sense for a bigger guy. I really don't know. Because he was looking too flat from the side. And now he's really the opposite of flat. But I don't know, it's just an option. I'm gonna save it like that, and I'm gonna revert it here. The legs, I feel like, should be shorter. I don't know if much shorter. I want to keep him in a sort of neutral position, but not so completely neutral. I want to make him a bit more posed already, but what the hell is his body? And if he, yeah, probably should be much bigger. That's probably the one feature that he's going to keep from his goblin origins. I want big feet. But again, God, no God. Okay. What? Yes, don't worry about that. Maybe just a thicker torso will do, and he doesn't need to have like a big gut. Well, right now he has a weird butt. That's part of a dummy. The hands, these are also came with a dummy that I exported. I don't know if I'm gonna give him like three fingers and a thumb, or 4 and 5, like a cartoon kind of hands, or a human hand. I feel like that could help him be different as well, to have sort of cartoon hands. It's kind of part of the story, the fact that because he's not he's like the only heir of his maker, but since he's not really his son, he's more of a weird Frankenstein monster thing that the wizard created. A lot of people don't really see him as a worthy heir of the wizard. And these are all good people. Evil has been vanquished. There has been a big battle, or at least a big event where his maker, the wizard, sacrificed himself to defeat evil, and that's why he's no longer around. Astrid's mother also died in that, and there is only one left of the 3 wizards. I mean, the 1 wizard and 2 sorceresses that protected the forest and this entire world. And Astrid is supposed to become the successor of her mother, because if it's like the natural thing, but ERGOL is looked upon like, well, you're all we have, but you will have to do, but he himself doesn't believe in himself, because if he's not necessarily a magical creature, he doesn't know magic as far as he knows. The wizard only taught him a few things that anyone can learn. He's not necessarily a magical being like the ones in the forest that are going to contribute to his spell that he's making with Astrid. So it's like, again, in a world of good people where even evil has been vanquished and everything, he is still kind of a bit of a pariah. Not necessarily, again, he's really appreciated, and but he's still thought of as some kind of servant of the wizard, not his natural heir. And that's a little bit of a subtext of the screenplay. Is that too much of a bulge? I don't know what kind of pants I should give him. I had thought for a while of, what are those called? I should undo this deep crack. I should give him a... It's still a big butt. Well, not really. Well, I have to work on this area at some point. But I don't really know if I'm going to give him like a special sort of wardrobe for this occasion. That he's gonna be hunting all of this, not hunting, rather collecting all of these ingredients all day. He's gonna have this sort of field day. I don't know if he should wear anything specific. But he's not a warrior, he's not anything, so it's not like I can give him any kind of armor or anything. It's just gonna be something comfy. I don't know if the neck is too long, but I feel like it's the one thing that gives him a bit of a youthful look. Otherwise, since he's sort of bald, he looks old. Maybe. That's why I don't want to enhance too much the expression lines or give him any kind of wrinkles. I had thought of giving him like a bit of a crow's feet. But I should avoid, I think, wrinkles or anything that makes him look old. I don't know. Also, I keep thinking about the skin. I don't know if I should give him... I always thought I should give him some kind of... special kind of texture, like either again, something relating to the mushroom or something also related to more the vegetal world and the animal world. Maybe some bark of a tree kind of texture in the forearm or something like that. Something that I always considered, but I don't know if it's gonna work. 'Cause otherwise it's gonna be a pretty simple looking guy, which I'm not against, but I feel like he should have more peculiar features. I'm really not making a lot of progress today. I don't know what kind of a color also he should have. That's the biggest problem, that I don't have any kind of reference. I don't want to copy anything, I don't want to, but at the same time I'm kind of lost. And I don't really know if perhaps he should have some kind of color, some kind of ornament, some kind of anything, something that I thought about. The stalk of a fly agaric. What does that look like? Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, that's very much what I was thinking of. Maybe I can give him in his actual neck something like the stem of the actual mushroom. But I don't know if it should be. I could do two things. I could give it like, I could make him like his actual neck looks like that, or I could make his actual clothes sort of emulate that and complement the shape that way. That's really interesting. But if I do it wrong, I feel like it's gonna look like the color of a pilgrim or something. Yeah, but the color, the skin color, and the thing, yeah, I feel like could really be inspired by that. I'm thinking maybe I can give him a kind of color in his sort of undergarment thing, something. It's not loading. Where is it? Something like looks like like this. I never knew what any of the parts of the actual mushroom were called. I've been calling it the stem and the whatever, but maybe I could give him a color like the annulus. It's a Latin word for ring, I'm pretty sure. It does sound like something else, but the Spanish word is similar, the Italian word is based on that. It's what's a vulva like? Oh, I see. I like that shape as well. I should have studied the parts of a mushroom if I was going to incorporate them in my design. Well, it was never like something that I was very sure about. I like the vulva shape for like a collar. That would make sense too. I could do something like that, maybe with like a sphere and then shape it around. I don't know if it's going to look too fancy, but I think it would complement the idea of the mushroom, the mushroom look. I can try to make a bit of a basic shape out of a sphere. I really haven't done my homework when it comes to mushrooms. Oh. Maybe here I can use for the beginning of this, I can use radial symmetry. And do something like this sort of shape. Just for testing, I mean. Where am I? Did I close anything? No. Well, this is too tall. Should I make it? I'm gonna close Discord just in case. Oh. Maybe if I... So it should be more narrow at the bottom, but yeah. It also has to be a color. Let's just try the basic shape for... That's the problem. It's gonna be... If it was a bit of a turtleneck, but I don't know how to make the sort of cup-shaped thingy without... I would like something like that, but I don't know. Again, it's not really gonna be like this. It's... I'd give it like a... like a trim here. But it could work, I mean... I don't necessarily want it to look like a turtleneck, but... if it had like little... I don't want it to go over this. Okay, if I extract this, I can make it really thin or thicker, or that is probably thick. 0.01. Still kind of thick. I don't want it too thin either, but let's try that. Something like this, and I should probably remesh it. If I remesh it with symmetry, with where am I? Where am I here? Oh, not that symmetry. Let's polish. It looks thick, doesn't it? If I make it thinner this way. I want it to sort of look sort of delicate and sort of like close as well. Now that looks like a top hat. I can hide this shape. I can go back to this. Let's go back to, if I subdivide and I pull up this to give it a God dang it, not like that. God, no. If it worked, it could be like a great organic shape to have around his neck and really complement the mushroom theme. But I don't know if it's gonna work because of it has to be really narrow in the bottom, and it's not gonna completely, it's not really going to convey the shape. I think. What's the front here? If I get rid of this radial symmetry and bring back the, if I give it more of a shape like this, well, I should go back later to redo all of this little, it got lost when I softened it, when I polished it. This could be great if it really enhanced the the mushroom sort of motif. Right now I was thinking of perhaps going more in the maybe adding like leaves or flowers, or not flowers but vines or leaves, because I didn't really know what to do for the sake of the mushroom theme. Does this make any sense? Is this remotely like the actual thing? I could... this is not... Yeah, this is completely asymmetric. Why is this like that? How? Is that gonna work if I do this? I can always remesh again, but at least to give it a bit of a shape, a bit of a detail here. I should probably remesh again. The dog's barking at something. I hope nobody's coming. I don't even know anymore. But let's try it like this. I don't want it to look too fancy either, but I do like the idea of the vulva thing. I don't want it to look like a very fancy color, but it does sort of complement the sort of stem thingy. Again, it's not called a stem. What was it? Is symmetry on? Okay. Let's pull this a bit up again. Give him a bit of a flare again. Why does it look so thick in here? Well, maybe I should try again, making it more like the proper mushroom thing. But I don't know. So as a placeholder, I think it might work. Maybe it should be thinner, tighter around the neck, but that's the problem. That has to be narrow. Has to be narrow in the end, in the bottom, and ERGOL's neck just doesn't go that way. Unless I make it, which I can, but I don't know if I want him to look like a complete pencil neck. Yeah, this is sort of too narrow here. Even if the neck is going to hide it. I don't know if it should be like part of his neck or part of a garment, but maybe I can. I also don't want it to look like too feminine in a way. Not that he has to look super macho, but something that looks too like he cares too much about the way he looks. But if it's part of if it's part of his neck, I feel like it works. If it's part of a garment, I don't know. I like how it complements the shapes. I don't know if I should remesh again or if I can maybe polish. Maybe I can bring it forward here a little bit. Give it like a curvier. Sort of thing that I... Yeah, maybe not too much. Don't look... So it won't look like a goiter or something. But... generally I like it. Again, it's a stupid thing that it's not really the way I feel about it, but I personally don't mind, but from the design point of view, it might be something that makes him look a bit feminine. I have no idea. If we erase this, and make it meet, assuming it's a color, maybe I could try also as a secondary thing. I could try the annular thing. Annulus, which is pretty much the same thing, sort of upside down. Maybe I could try it. Looks a bit fancy also, but I like it design-wise. To really complement the rest. I really like it. That's a great one. Thank you, Defi, again for the whole vulva thing. I had no idea. I don't know if it's working, but I like it. I was saying that yeah, I like it too. I like how it complements the mushroom design. But something that I have to think that again, it's not something that bothers me or anything, or in me personally or for the character. But I don't know if it's gonna make him look sort of feminine, like a woman's shirt, blouse kind of color. That's the only sort of objection that I have. But for adding to the mushroom sort of thing, I really do like it. I was saying that I could try maybe the AEmilius kind of thing. That's not so different. It's pretty much the same thing, but sort of upside down and more flat. Maybe I could try it for the sake of trying. Let's save that one. Let's. How can I pinch? Is there the literal pinch brush? Yes. Oh, that's a lot. No, that's not enough. That's deforming the rest. But something maybe like this. I will mask this part and pinch the rest. Not like that. Why is this freaking brush like that? The pinch brush in Sculptress is so much better. Why is the freaking ZBrush one so lame? Maybe something like this. And upside down. Well, even like that it could work. If it was part of his neck and then the actual clothes could be apart. Maybe that is, I don't know. Well, I'll save this one also. I will duplicate it, and I'll do what I was going to do, which is turning this around 180 and placing it like a color like this way. I don't like it so much. It could work more as a color for the shirt, but I should also sort of make a hole in it, but no, I don't like it. I prefer either this. Well, how about both? I don't know. But either this, where are we? This alone, or the whole thing, like this. It also sort of looks like a fancy thing. I feel like a smaller ring like this, like it's part of the actual neck also, could be better. I don't know. Yeah, I'm still not set on I'm still gonna keep the three options, but I think I like this. It could look like it's part of a neck, of his actual neck. And really add to the mushroom thing. It looks kind of fancy. It looks like, especially the bigger one, it looks like the color of like a fancy old gentleman kind of shirt. At some point I thought of giving him some kind of a fur collar, but maybe not necessarily fur, but making like foliage to integrate plants, not just with the look, but with the actual garments as well. I really haven't done much for the clothes. What time is it? Oh. I should do at least a sort of a test of what some kind of clothes could look like on him. I keep thinking of a vest, but the vest is so Shrek as well. I don't want anything like Shrek. But it feels so convenient. Should be bigger. So I also have to think of the clothes in terms of what's going to be easier to animate. Again, the animation that I'm going to do is not really 3D. It's a mixture of 2D like a 2D animation of the 3D renders, kind of like what I did for Phil's birthday video, with the Star Wars part and with the Hamlet factory part. But I have to think of clothes that won't get in the way when I need to repose him, to re-render him, to re-rig him for a different shot. I'm just gonna do a bit of an attempt of a vest to see what it could look like. I'm just gonna cut him open. Well, I can always extract it and then later adjust it to the shape that I need, but for the sake of a test, that's too thick. That is thickish, but walkable. This is not the most ideal way to do this, but it's a quick one to try as I keep trying and trying things to see how they look on him. This can be tedious and kind of dumb, but it's like a way of trying out things. Since I cannot really draw, or well, I mean, I could try, but I'm never all that happy with drawing. It's not really my medium, and I don't know what could I accomplish in terms of coming up with a design by just drawing. Instead, I come here and I try to find things in 3D. There are also much better tools in more updated versions of ZBrush that I don't even have. I have a pretty old version. This is for R8. I think they've even stopped using that kind of nomenclature now. It's just a year. I should try to update it at some point. Did that work? It's very thick, isn't it? What's happening if I polish? It loses a bit of the definition in the edges, but maybe if I can deflate it later to make it thinner and less tight to the body. It could be usable. I could add some detail like stitches or two different materials or different layers. Maybe if I separate it from the body a little bit so it drops more naturally and it's not so tight to the body, it'll be better. It just sort of drops more naturally, it doesn't hug the body so completely tight, but it also reveals that it's really thick. I don't know what material this could be. In-world material. Maybe I can add some sort of trim as well. Maybe I can add some kind of motif or pattern somewhere. I would like that. Something that looks embroidered. I have just a way to do that. I did it for the detail in Queen Amidala's costume last year. When did I do that? It ended up looking pretty decent. I could use that really. I could come up with some kind of motif and make it look like an embroidered thing on the vest. I don't know. Is it too short? Now that I think about it, should it be longer? This here is too smooth, too much of a curve. Maybe it should be a sharper corner. I'm working with not a lot of subdivision here. Like that, a sharper corner. Maybe here it can be rounded, but is this too different? No. Maybe I should still give him some kind of color for the under thing, the undershirt. I don't want it to be too colorful, but maybe the shirt could be some kind of color, especially if the skin is going to be sort of grayish, yellowish, like the mushroom. You want to avoid sort of weird straight lines, boring lines. Oh. Should he have a sort of a V-neck underneath? But it should have some kind of color still. How do I make a color now? The vest really does look very thick, and here it's sort of floating. Should I redo it thinner? It could be like a thick frigging leather that he could be wearing, or it's not winter or anything. Well, he might go to a snowy part. He has to swim also in one part. Will he need to take that off? Will he just jump into the water as it is? As he... I don't even know. Should I... I'm gonna save in case it crashes, because this inflate thing is very garbage. Yeah, that made it thinner, but also ruined the edges. Can I fix that with polish? Is that working, or the crisp edges really? It's what I need. I don't want it to get too soft again. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It got too soft and too rounded, but I didn't want it to stay that thick. It was way too thick. Here it even got too thin. Maybe I can inflate it. Inflate it back a little bit. For these edges to look weird, but I think it's gonna look more organic if I make it thin instead of that thick extracted thing that I did. I can always try to re-sharpen some corners. Maybe I can remesh it again. I don't want to marry this already, but I'd like to use it. Is it better with this sharper, with this rounder corners here, or it should be sharp? I think it's better here. It's gonna look too fancy if I give it like a sort of a trim. With, let's try something like a freaking tube. Why doesn't this snap like the proper thing? This is better. Something like, well, not that squiggly, more straight. Like that, or maybe bigger. Or maybe the actual pipe that I tried first to curve. Well, something like this, like all around. Oh, I have something better than that. I have something that looks like a rope. I've already done that before, though, for another character, for another thing, but it could work. Where even are my brushes? Where's the rope? Do I have it here? No, no, no. Here. Why I can never find my freaking ropes, my freaking brushes. Did it crush? Are you even searching? Please. Where could I even have that? Please. Okay, fine, don't help. I can never find what I'm looking for. How about... no. Something like, why this freaking thing doesn't really snap to the surface like the other one? This. No, let me continue the thing here. No. Okay. It's the kind of thing that I do, and I say I'll fix it later, and it never looks good because I never fix it because it never improves. But to give it a little sort of detail. Oh no! Don't turn like that. Should it be like this, or just the pipe, the round one? I can always make it thinner. I can always make it. What does that look like? Is it gonna look too fancy if I add that kind of trim and that kind of thing? I don't even know. But without something, it feels too bare bones. It feels too devoid of detail. Yeah, I should stop showing my desktop. I don't know, let's extract this and see again. This trap works better if I can do this round here and then switch it. Does it have to come this way here? If I now turn this into the tube, and now around the actual sleep holes. I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to give it some detail. Maybe I could do some kind of shoulder guard kind of thing. It reminds me a little bit of the guy from, what's his name? I'm way too distracted. I cannot think and talk and anything. Where did that sphere go? Here we are. Are you okay? Go there. Should be thinner. I don't want to have the same problem again. And is that too thin? I don't even know. How do I curve this now? Would frigging just gravity work? No, it made it round completely. How do I bend? That's the one direction in which it doesn't bend. Bend this way, no, bend in the y-axis. Oh god. Now? Okay, there we go. Thank you. Like a freaking chip. Is that too much? Maybe just that. And now maybe which ways what? Here we are. No. Now gravity. No. Maybe something like that. It looks too much like a chip, but okay. See you later, Defi. if I put something like this in the shoulders, is it too weird? Either like it's part of a vest or not, but it suddenly looks too fancy. It looks like something like a nobleman kind of outfit. But I would like some kind of detail either in the vest or underneath. It doesn't have to be so... It doesn't have to point up necessarily, but I'd like something like that for this sort of costume, but again, I don't know if it should be part of a vest or part of something else. If we remesh this and I sort of like it. I should adjust this to meet here better. What's the back of this? Oh. I'm trying to get this half out of the way so I can mirror and weld and have it as a single piece. I should adjust, well, I should actually remesh, or I can, should I make it be one part? Right, I had to cut it because it was the easiest way to apply on the vest, but now the cap is getting on the way. I can adjust it later anyway. Oof. What is this? This and this I should merge. And Dynamesh. So I can turn it all into one shape instead of them being weirdly connected here. Higher resolution probably. And now we mesh. Again, I don't know if that looks too fancy. I'm so used to him looking like the render that I did yesterday. That he looks almost naked because you can see the neck and the shoulders. And now suddenly he looks overdressed. The shoulder things are probably too much. Maybe he could wear something like that in the future. When he becomes more important. But that's like a whole other episode. Maybe I can make a simpler kind of ornament here around the sleeves and around on the shoulders. If I do the tube again. Something sort of like this. I should use polish more often. Something like that. Does this look too... Maybe it looks a bit too like... I don't know if... kind of like an Aladdin kind of thing. 'Cause I'm trying to make the vest different Shrek wise, but I don't know if this is the way. How does it look with the two things? Is that too much? Suddenly I feel like I'm making like a Mortal Kombat character or something with this kind of clothes. And again, I feel like this is something that he might wear in the future when he becomes more important. Now that he's the humble ERGOL that everybody takes for granted. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There's something Oriental. There's something either sort of Middle Eastern or Far East Asian about it. There's something. It's like something Shang Tsung would wear. But I don't know. I don't know about the shoulder things. I want to add some kind of finishing, some kind of trim to the vest. I don't know if I want it to look too exotic or anything. I should go more for since it's not necessarily like inspired by English folklore or like Celtic, but it sort of is. I should probably look for inspiration in that area instead of just adding whatever I feel like. Maybe more on the Celtic side. I look for Celtic, and it gives me shirts from the sports team. I don't even know what sport it is. It's basketball, I guess. Wow, yeah. If I say medieval. Yeah, it's very simple what I find. There is one. Here's one with something like the shoulders thing that I was doing, but not quite like that. This is more of a robe than a vest, but and it's supposed to be more regal. But something like this maybe I can do. Some sort of small sort of sleeves to the vest. Something smaller in this direction, but it still looks like a page boy or something, but maybe it's something more appropriate. Again, I'm not necessarily going for anything Celtic, but I feel like this kind of mythology of fairies and whatever it's... Again, I don't have actual fairies anymore, but... maybe something like this is better and more quote-unquote European. Better as in more suitable. And it gives it a bit of a flair without being like too much. Maybe I can lower the tips a little bit. Well, maybe not so low, something that sort of still hovers like it has some structure, but something that doesn't fall completely on the shoulder. Something like that, or I don't know, I liked them when they were still pointing up a little bit. I'm gonna save the two versions just in case. I'm gonna revert this to that. Maybe this is the right way to go. That's a bit more interesting without being freaking Shrek's best. I don't know if I should keep this. That's probably, that's fancy, that's very page boy. I don't know. Back to the undergarment, the sort of shirt or whatever it is. Maybe I could give him a bit of a color like that guy's wearing in that coat, the Celtic thing from eBay. But I don't know if I want to add another color to that. It's so weird. I had set up a few other automated messages for the chatbot to say in chat, and nothing has worked so far. I feel like. Maybe I could do this kind of color. Lucky it was nothing important. Yeah, the commands are more or less set, but there are some timed messages from the bot that I forgot what it was. And just the ERGOL saying hello, that kind of stuff like that, it should have repeated like every half an hour, and it worked only once in like 3 hours. Lucky it was not important, it was just something to test it. Let's give him some kind of collarbones that probably are not going to be visible, but if I'm going to make a bit more detail in this area, it might be useful. Hey, Breen. Oh. That's a lot to take care of at a time. I don't know if I should do like an actual color here or what. Could I split this into a different part? Should I? Wow, that's really all the 8-ball can say? Well, we haven't been asking questions apparently, but there's not a single positive one? Is there a cooldown or something? That's very helpful. Can I do like a crease here? Where is the... here. I can never find my own freaking brush. Oh, this is a very low resolution. I don't know how you add like a counter, for example, like a death counter. That I don't know how to do, like in the custom commands. There are some templates that you can use. Maybe I should look into those. But I don't really know how to do any of that. Can I remesh so I can have the edges I need where I need them? No, that's not remotely what I needed. In modify topology, this is too strong. Less intensity, smaller size. I really have to learn more about the commands. It's okay, Breen. Thanks again for coming. There's not a lot of action going on here. I'm just trying some clothes for the guy. Clay polish. That's a good trick. Yeah, I'm not even that familiar with Streamlabs, but I'm even less familiar with Stream Elements. I should check out there's a lot of tutorials but it really sucks that there are like tutorial lessons that would be much more helpful if they actually linked to the area or the actual place where you can edit what is being talked about. It doesn't really say anything. It doesn't really help. Everything I've done looking for tutorials on YouTube. And I haven't done much. I just tried to set up some commands, some overlays, at least to have some of the basics on. But it is really tricky. It's so weird to me that you have to resort to third-party things for all this stuff. Why isn't there like a default version that is provided by either Twitch or OBS or anything? You have to combine so many things, so many different third-party services for just this one same thing. So weird to me. I'm spending too much time on something that I might not even use, but okay. This is a very dumb way to do this. I should have probably done it a similar way to what I did with the vest. Evil? Yeah, maybe everything else is very rounded, and this is like the one thing that's very angular. It could be. Maybe it could be like a not so much of a deep B. I was going to add like some kind of chords here, like the guy with a robe. Why am I echoing so much? I could add some kind of color. But I'm not sure I know how. He looks overdressed, but I really don't want to make anything that's too bare bones and looks like zero effort has been made. I don't want to do anything too detailed or fancy looking either, but anyway, I never make anything too detailed, but here I was going to do something like how many like a couple of, maybe it should be tighter here. Instead of a V, it should be like more like this, sort of rounded, and with this opening here, and with a kind of lace here with a little sort of cord. That's kind of what I was going for. And maybe a bit of a color on top of that, like the guy in the eBay thing. And here maybe to like, of course it doesn't freaking work. This strap is better. Oh. Well, I should do it lower on a flat surface. Let's turn that into this. Looking less like a sausage and more like a cord. I have a better way to do this, but it's a whole other brush that I'm probably not gonna find. I should go higher. Like it's really closing this together. Something like that, maybe with now a color also added there. Not necessarily a color, but this medieval guy has like a kind of color. Maybe I could extract it out of the... No. I'm gonna hide this for a sec, then... Now I can adjust this a little bit. Now with the curb strap. No. Much bigger. Oh, please, let me complete this shape, for God's sake. Sure, let's say that. Which one was the correct one? This one. This, but upside down. Something like this, but smaller, thinner. Can I maybe try to fix it here? Let's dynamesh it. Let's remesh it. It's too thick, but maybe... Maybe something like this. Well, it's not the right size or shape or anything, but hey, Praetor. I've been making the wrong shapes for a while. I want to make just a sort of simple collar to this sort of shirt. How are you, Praetor? I'm kind of just about to finish. Saturdays are a good day to chill. these corners are anywhere but where they should go. Could you please here bring this here? Thank you. I don't know, maybe something like that to give it like a little color to this sort of shirt, and kind of copying what the guy with the medieval guy had. I don't freaking know. I'd like to put something in the vest, something embroidered maybe. Why, there's a weird line here. Why is this curved like that? Well, I prefer it to be curved to have too many straight edges, but gives it a little something, and it isn't just a kind of empty collar area here. There's already the mushroom thing going on, but I wanted to give him a little something extra. I'm not going to have time to try to redo what I did yesterday that I lost because a freaking thing crashed. I was going to do like a little poly painting again and extract it. Try to do like a realistic render to see what it would look like, but I think we've done some progress. He already looks like one of those characters from those direct-to-video movies. From those sketchy studios that the plot makes no sense, and it's yeah, it's just random numbers for the sake of saving it with some name, because by default it's ZBrush something, and that doesn't really help. Maybe this. This thingies, maybe I can duplicate it. I can duplicate and bring down like another row here of these. No. I don't know, is that too much? 2 of those? I have no idea, but I don't want to add detail for the sake of detail, but I also don't want to leave him all bare bones. At some point I tried this, which now feels like too much, this shoulder thing. I kind of like it. I don't know. I tried a different sort of shoulder pads that stick out more but look like a mandarin kind of thing. I've been trying some different things. I think that's gonna be it for today. I probably should add some when I give the shirt a better finishing. I should add some folds and wrinkles and maybe even stitches or something, but for now the basic shapes are this. I think it's okay. I think it's something. We have something going on. A little progress every day. It's a heck of a lot more that I've done in months of not doing anything since like April or something. This guy was going to be the protagonist of my sort of passion project this year, and I haven't really done anything, so I'm glad that I'm finally doing something. And streaming has helped a lot, really. If I was on my own, I'd probably be watching YouTube the entire afternoon instead of doing something. I don't know if this looks too cute or too... the shoulder things should be dark too. I don't want it to look cute, I don't want it to look fancy. He's going to have a day at the field. But yeah, thank you. That's the main feature that I always had in mind, and pretty much everything else I had been toying with. But the one thing that I always wanted is the mushroom cap kind of thing. Originally I had given him a pointy nose, then I ended up changing it for this. I didn't know necessarily what the clothes should look like, and I'm sort of finding him as I go along. Okay. Again, I'd probably add some either stitches, some embroidering, some detail here. But yeah, that was also kind of the point, to make it less like an ogre, less like Shrek. But I really wanted a vest because if it is sort of inspired by this kind of Celtic mythology of goblins, and I wanted to steer away from that, but he's supposed to look sort of anthropomorphic but not human, sort of weird but not ugly, sort of friendly but not cute. It's like a weird balance always that I'm trying to find, and I'm more or less happy with what we have been doing. And this last 3 days, tomorrow I'm probably going to stream again, but I only have like an hour before field starts, so I might just do some gaming for a while. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying. It's complicated to find the right balance, and but I'm sort of happy right now with him. I keep saving. I keep exporting. Okay, so I guess that's it for today. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Defi. Thank you, Praetor. Thank you, Breen. No, Breen left, but thank you for coming. I should get going. I don't know if there's is there someone we can raid or something? I always feel bad about raiding with... It feels like I'm just doing it for self-promotion or something. Let's just end it. I don't see any friends streaming either. Thank you guys very much for coming. This is really something. I can tell you how important it's been. How much it has helped me to be streaming this. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. I would keep neglecting it. I would keep procrastinating, and this has helped me really finally get to work on my characters. Thank you again. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Defi, for the ideas and all the the mushroom anatomy that I had not even looked at. I really like what we have going on here.